Oh, it already started. That's embarrassing. I feel like everybody has that face that they make whenever they pass by a window or a mirror or something, where you're just like looking at yourself. That's really embarrassing whenever somebody sees it. But anyway, I have had the longest week. Well, good long. And so I asked off from work on Tuesday and Wednesday because so Tuesday I woke up, I went to bar class. And then actually I went with my mom because she didn't have to work until later that night. She is a music teacher and she was taking her students to a baseball game, I want to say. Anyway, so she wasn't working until later that night to take her kids on the trip, and so I took her along to class with me, and she really liked it. And then came back, and then it was time for my video conference with my manager. And what did we go over? I think I have it written down. Oh yeah, we just talking about general updates. Talking about how much I'm budgeting in order to make the move to Atlanta later at the end of the summer. Talking about, on Actors Access, need to get some more slate shots, and my writing projects, and just, kind of touching base. Then I packed. I, at the last minute, made some revisions to my resume, my acting resume. I'm still not happy with it. And then I went and I drove 6.5 hours to Atlanta. I ended up hanging out with a friend of mine who's a grip. We went, we got some smoothies, and then I played video games very, very badly. Like, I'm not good at video games. I really enjoy them, but it's this one, it's like car soccer. It's like where you're like driving a car, but you have to like hit the ball, and he's really, really good at it. But I was just driving on the ceiling. And then I woke up and I was supposed to have a video interview for a really exciting job. So I thought it was a phone interview. So I was like, okay, cool. I'll just pull off on the side of the road while I'm driving to Atlanta, get taken care of. But then I see that there was an invitation to go to, one of those apps where, it gives you the thing. So I was like, I can't do this in the car. Like, that's going to look so dumb. And then by the time I got to my friend Smile's house, it was just too late. So I was like, oh, my hair's gross. I need to wake up. So cue Wednesday, me waking up bright and early at 6 a.m. to take a shower so that my hair will dry a little bit. It is so thick, it takes forever to dry. And then I taped the interview questions. It was stuff like, what would we not know about you from your resume? And I was like, and I was also kind of like looking at the clock because I knew I had to leave by 9 in order to get to the intensive. Oh, that's why I went to Atlanta, by the way. Oh my God, even whenever I'm not like talking to somebody else and I'm just like talking to you guys, I'm just rambling. But it was things like, what would we not know about you? And I was like, I do wood burning, I do crafts, and I don't know. Then I went to the acting intensive. I actually went to the wrong location, so instead of being early, I was just on time. And man, it was really tiring. I mean, it was good, but it was really tiring. It's just 5 hours being in I'd say a very socially charged room. Everybody was cool, but you're very aware that it's like, okay, I need to be on, I need to be, learning and paying attention and making a good impression, but also opening yourself up, because it's like, oh, I need to be so on, because I have, I'm a pretty socially anxious person, but I tend to be a chatterbox. Yeah, I'm not like lucky like people who get quiet whenever they get anxious. I mean, not this, like, I mean, anxiety isn't fun. But instead my brain goes, is this, say something. Maybe if you keep talking, you'll say the thing that they want to hear. And then people just think that you're really annoying. But yeah, we watched all the tapes. Mine was the only one that had like really different between like take 1, take 2. So that was cool. Some things that I learned I'm going to share with you guys. I don't know. I still would suggest taking a class. I mean, they are expensive, but I got a lot of it. The importance of following directions in the breakdown. If you can't follow directions in the audition, what makes us think that you can follow directions on set? Excellent point. Talking about motivations. It's, especially in auditions, it's a lot better to keep things simple. So think, what do I want in this scene? Not, what do I want in this scene in order to make this, no, just clear choices. I personally need to work on my setup. I need to work on the lighting. And there were two people that just amazing. One guy, Mo, I'm just like, give me the Amazon. Give me the links. Because he had like a travel like screen, blue screen. It was amazing. And this other girl, Samantha, her camera, I was just like, but here I am filming on my phone. My poor phone. I love you, phone. You're hanging in there. My little iPhone SE. But yeah, I need to get a camera. And you want to be as specific as possible when breaking down a scene. Yeah, just get to the specifics, not like, oh, these overarching like character type things. Be mindful of volume and emotion. I used to really struggle with this whenever I was mostly theater based. You know, you work really hard in theater training to get that, nice resonant voice. So you're very, very loud without sounding like, you're shouting. It's a lot of vocal warm-ups, just to do that. But if you're used to projecting and being loud, number one, that volume, like if you and I are just sitting right here and like talking, like some people are louder talkers than others, but I wouldn't be talking to you like we're this. And if you're too loud, then it comes across as being really fake and really forced. So that's not good. And then it's just like, when you're used to everything being so big, it's hard. It's not that it's smaller. It's like it's condensed. I remember seeing this interview with Anne Hathaway. It was for Les Mis, and it was very interesting because, her mom was Fantine? Is that doesn't sound right. But yeah, her mom had played that, and so, she'd grown up in the theater, and she said that, whenever you're singing, it's this big, cresting wave, it's ocean, it's very dramatic. She was like, but then film is so intimate. She was like, so I started thinking about a tide pool, and how it has all, she was like, how can I get all of that, the beauty and the majesty of that, but, bring it down, but not, flattening it out, but instead doing that. And then she quoted Emily Dickinson, who was talking about how her writing, she was like, I work on a 1 inch by 1 inch section of bone that I'm just, engraving and like doing that. So that was something, because there were a couple actors there that definitely came more from the theater side. So we talked about that, and that was just reminded me, because I know that's something that I still struggle with from time to time, because I feel like I'm naturally very, very big. I was watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine actually the day after I went to the intensive, and the day of the intensive, sorry, and I was already so brain fried. I was like, oh no, I don't want to be, I've been thinking about this, because I couldn't watch like what was actually going on in the show. I was just like, how does he do that? How does Andy Samberg, like, how is he goofy, but it's still like, but it's still grounded, and it's, oh God, he is such a talented man. Another goal in auditions. Goal is to make the viewer feel like they're in the scene with you and not watching an audition. And it's so hard. It's so hard, because I like making people happy. I like performing. I want to do things the right way, and that's part of my anxiety, and that's something I actually wrote down too, is just like, don't focus on doing things the right way, because in auditions there's not really like if you're trying to focus on doing things the right way, like, don't do that. Just focus on doing things the way that you would. And I'm trying to work on not being such a perfectionist, and not being like, because it's like, no, it's not a performance, because there's that thing that's like, oh, if I do it right, you guys will be happy, and I want you guys to be happy. Look at my performance. But you can't do that. So yeah, this is, oh my God, I've already been talking for 10 minutes. It's just, I've kind of been all over the place. what I meant this video to be, I guess it kind of turned into a recap of my week and page 1 of the notes that I took in the intensive. But I was just going to say, one of the things that they suggested for actors, because I was sitting there like thinking like for headshots, like, oh, what type do I play? They're like, no, like, because I want to be moving to Atlanta. It's like, what are the shows that are filming in Atlanta? And look at those, look at the cinematography, look at the tone, then get your, like Walking Dead shot, your Stranger Things shot, your legacies, and do that. So I'm going through on projectcasting.com, and I have a wonderful photographer that I'm working with. Like, I love her to death, absolutely love her to death. She's insanely talented. I think that just in drawing and everything, love working with her. And I was like, hey, just so you know, I know that we usually just collaborate because we're friends, but since this headshots are like, since I'm going to be using this to try and get some money, I'd like to pay you. And she goes, oh, if it's for friends, she said, I just say, buy me a coffee or something. She's like, it's like, if you wanted, she's like, if you want a demon to work for you, you'd give them a penny, like one of those old contracts. And I'm just like, never change. So yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm going through on a Google Docs. And that, I guess, is a little bit of a recap of the first part of my week, the first page. This already has been 11 minutes. Okay, so real quick, I did the rest of the intensive. I can get more into it later, but I feel bad if I've been talking this long and I haven't actually said it. But I did the rest of the intensive. That was from 10 to 3 p.m. Then I drove from 3:30 p.m. until 7:30 p.m. to Charlotte, where I stayed the night with a friend. And then I woke up in the morning, and then I went and then I taped an audition at Corrigan and Johnson in Charlotte. And then I drove back to Ocean Isle Beach, where I then worked a shift at Jinx, the restaurant, from like 4 until like 10:30 at night. And now I'm here, and I'm going through. I just got my IMDb Pro account. I uploaded another thing to my Actors Access. I'm trying to deal with the albatross around my neck that has been trying to get my personal website up, because I just keep getting overwhelmed by like little dumb things like, oh, what do I want the color scheme to be? What do I want? Like, I don't have a design, so it's hard again. Overachiever. So yeah, this has been a vlog ramble update on my week. Quick explanation, intro to some audition techniques, and talk about mental health. Happy Friday.